Good day, everyone. I am Ndubisi Mwegwa, an associate in Chairman Law Firm. I have a very interesting topic to discuss with you today, and that is common mistakes in debt recovery and how to avoid the same. A lot of times, people who try to recover money they borrowed to some of their customers do face some legal challenges or do face some challenges in different areas, and most times they want to recover the money using forces or using kind of pressure that may not be legally acceptable. So this video is to enlighten you on the common mistakes that will hinder your efforts to recover debts from your borrowers. One of these mistakes is failing to keep proper records. First of all, debt or borrowing of money is like a contract, and as every contract, it has to be underwriting for it to be more enforceable in law. It has to be in black and white. So every transaction being made when you want to borrow money to or lend money to people, you must make sure that there is a written contract to that effect. That written document will outline the terms and conditions of the transactions, the responsibilities of each parties, and all that. So if you fail to keep record by not executing any written document to effect or to show the transaction, the existence of the transaction, you will discover sometimes that it will be very difficult for you to recover it, because the issue will be, where is the evidence of the debts? Where is the evidence of borrowing the money? What do you have to show that the borrower is indebted to you? So that's why it's very imperative for a money lender to make sure that it keeps record. Every transaction has to be documented. It goes beyond that. It also extends to all the letters, correspondences issued to the borrower has to be in writing. It has to be in a very permanent form that it could be referenced to tomorrow in a case of disputes. It goes beyond that to require that the lender also have to keep record of all the incomings. When the borrower begins to pay money, the account has to be maintained, showing the money coming in, how much has the borrower paid, how much is remaining unpaid, what is the balance. So with that, it will put everyone in perspective, and it will clarify every doubt that this is the amount of money that's been paid by the borrower, and this is the amount of money that is yet unpaid. So by that, it will mitigate some kind of uncomfortable occurrences during the period of or during the time of recovery, because everything is on black and white and everything has evidence. And assuming the matter has to proceed to court, the court will be requesting for documents to prove the loan. Statement of account also has to be there, because that is one of the fundamental factors the court consider before admitting that somebody or holding somebody responsible for indebtedness. The statement of account is very sacrosanct. The correspondences between the parties very sacrosanct, which are supposed to be in place. Another one is misleading information. Common mistakes money lenders make is misleading information, where inconsistent messages are being sent to the borrower. A lot of times, this one a message will come stating that the borrower is indebted to certain sum of money. Another person will come and contradict that fact. Sending of contradictory messages to borrower may jeopardize your effort to recover the money, because the borrower will rely on inconsistent messages to say that it's not indebted, and it will be a very long hill or a very top hill for you to climb in proving the money. Another common mistakes money lenders make in the attempt to recover money or recover debts is by use of unlawful approaches and aggressive measures. This comes in a case when the money lender tries to use a kind of force or threat to the borrower to force the borrower to pay the money. It also comes in a way where the money lender resort to using police officers or security officers to intimidate, harass, or embarrass the borrower. A lot of times this approach will plunge the money lender into different troubles, including lawsuits, including different claims, civil claims, including criminal liabilities, because contract of borrowing money is purely civil. So in a civil matter should not be used, or police officer should not be used in any civil matter. And it has been established as a principle of law, even by Supreme Court, that police officers or law enforcement agencies are not debt recovery agents. They are law enforcement agents whose duty are to maintain peace and order in the society. And when you use police officers to embarrass people or intimidate people to pay money, you may incur liability on yourself. For instance, if you use police to harass you, may try to institute fundamental right matter or fundamental right action against you in court and claim some damages. A lot of times, you may even claim damages that is even more than the money you are fighting and pursuing to reclaim. So you will discover that you ended up creating more liability to yourself by using unlawful and aggressive approach to recover the debt. The way forward, or the way out of that, is that if you must, or if you want to use force or use police officers to recover debt, then make sure that at the time of the transaction, that is the transaction of borrowing money, you include some factors that may criminalize the transaction or makes it criminal in a case or in a situation where the borrower defaults. For instance, when the borrower comes to borrow money and you want to create a criminal element in it, make the borrower to sign post-dated check. When the borrower signs post-dated check, if the check bounces upon presentation for payment in bank, he now becomes criminally liable under the Dishonor Check Act, because it's an offense for somebody to issue a check or to use a check to borrow money and the check bounces at the point of presentation. Another factor is to understand, or another way is to understand the purpose of that borrowing. Know the reason why the borrower borrowed the money. He has to state it in the contract. If the reason for borrowing the money is actually stated in the contract, and later the borrower now use the money for a different purpose, different from what is stated in the contract, then you can now use police officers to arrest him because he has diverted the money, and that is what is called conversion in criminal law, and is a criminal offense that is punishable. If those criminal elements is created, use officers or force to reclaim the money, but not taking the law into your hand. You must take all the legal procedures provided under the law in recovering the money. And you have to note that using police officers when there's a criminal element does not mean that the police officer will recover the money. The police officers are only going after the criminal aspect of the transactions and not the civil aspect. You have to go to civil court to get judgment for recovery of that money. Another common mistakes money lenders make in lending money and recovering of money is not complying with legal requirements. There are a lot of laws that lay down procedures for money lenders to follow in lending money. For instance, the CBN guideline for money lenders 2019 provides for maximum amount of interest to be charged on every particular loan, and every commissions to be paid that is payable by the borrower. There's a maximum percent stipulated by the CBN and other laws in force, providing the maximum amount of percentage. So when a money lender charges beyond that percent, that interest may not be enforceable in law. And what will be the repercussion? The money lender will end up losing the interest which is supposed to be accruable from the loan. Now it means that the money lender has just given money freely without any interest. Also, the Lagos State money lenders law also provides that compound interest should not be charged on loan. It is illegal. It is illegal under the Lagos State money lenders law for you to charge compound interest on loans. Every illegal contract is not enforceable. So when you tend to your contract, you lend your money, you lend money to a borrower, and the contract is tainted with illegality, you may not be able to enforce that contract in courts of law, and that will hamper your efforts to recover your money. Thank you very much. I remain Ndubisi Nwegwa. I'm an associate in Chairman Law Firm. If you have any inquiries or questions you need to make regarding all this, you can contact us through all these channels you've seen on the screen below. So we'll follow it up from there and help you in your business decisions. Thank you.